We're
And
live.
welcome to episode number 8 of Cody's Business Show. I'm with my friend Flipping with Cisco, and
What's up, guys?
we have absolutely no format or anything to follow. That's actually one of the things I want to talk about. But this is just us talking about selling on Amazon and life and stuff. So what's up, man? How's it going?
It's going pretty well. Just got out of as a homeowner, I'm sure you know, like there's like HOA board meetings or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I just got out of one of those, and it was super long and dreadful and annoying. So
Ew,
that's about
that
it.
sounds terrible.
The rest of my day has been super boring, just like that board meeting.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, I uh, I had shipping today. Today was a big shipping day, and then I had 3 stores that I hit, and then I had some miscellaneous crap that I had to take care of. So, oh, and taxes. I started. We're working to get taxes done next week. So I'm on the ball this year. Last year I didn't get it done
Nice.
in October. So
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I'm gonna get it done in January this year. So
I was definitely kind of like on the same boat with you last year, where I didn't really start thinking about it till right now, this time
mhm,
last year,
yep.
and then that definitely learned my lesson. Because I mean, I had everything right, like I like put receipts in shoe boxes, and I had everything.
Yeah.
It just wasn't organized.
Uh-huh.
But this year is definitely different.
Yeah. We filed an extension, and then we literally submitted it the last day of the Excel. Like, I mean, we pushed it all the way, and so yeah, that was a terrible decision. Very stressful, and it hung over my head the whole year.
Yeah, it's
And so
tough.
this year is the first year we're gonna pay quarterly instead of
Hmm.
annually or whatever. And so we're trying to have all last year taken care of, and then have our quarterly caught up at the end of the first quarter. So
Yeah,
it's a big goal for us because we haven't historically been very good with that. But
you have to read Profit First, man. It's gonna help you. It's gonna
yeah,
help you so much. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay.
I'm gonna beat that. Well, I guess let's be politically correct. I'm gonna feed that overfed horse and keep telling you to read that book
What's
every
the
single day
premise?
until you do.
What's the pro? And what's the big? What's the big? I wish I read more, but like,
All right. So this is literally all it is, right? So business and taxes seems really daunting and complicated, and that's why a lot of people like don't start businesses, right? And
yeah,
sometimes when they do, they really don't know how to like manage their finances. The book literally breaks it down to you at a 5 grade level, so it's super digestible and super easy to understand, and it breaks down like the steps of how you should do it.
mhm.
And then when you buy the book, like obviously he promotes his like webpage, and but he has a bunch of like free resources to kind of help you like stay organized and stay on top of things.
Huh.
And it's a very like comprehensive way to do things, super easy, super simple, super streamlined.
The idea is every dollar that comes in, you pay yourself first, what you
Hmm.
think the profit is, and then the rest you have like tiers and stuff that it goes to.
Kind of. So like so you want to start off paying yourself off like a simple percentage, right? Like let's say you're starting off your business, so that your first payout maybe 2% goes to profit, right? And then you start off with 5% being taxes, and then the rest goes straight into inventory. And so you want to build yourself up, because when you're first starting out, you don't want to just instantly give yourself 15% profit,
Sure.
15 20% go straight to a tax account, and then not have much for inventory or anything. So you kind of gradually get there, and then it also does a really good job at defining what profit is and what paying a salary is. So when he says take a profit, it's really just putting it into like a different savings account of pool of
Mhm.
money that you'll disperse to yourself, what regardless of what it is, like quarterly or bi-yearly or whatever.
Gotcha.
So it's not like what you're getting paid out.
Yeah. Huh. We ran all of our numbers start to front in
Mhm.
December, and for the first time, we like painstakingly went through the numbers, and it was enlightening. Like it's a good. I would.
Yeah.
There's a report on Amazon. I'm sure everybody that's smarter than me knows and does this already, but you can literally see like every financial transaction that happens to your account, and you can see
Yep.
like if you get a fee, if you get a whatever. I haven't looked at that report. I've been selling on Amazon for years and never looked at that
Yeah.
report.
I feel
And,
you. I definitely
and,
feel you.
and so
And, and
it it's crazy looking at it and be like, oh crap, like I'm, you're not making as much money as you think, so
Yeah, because little miscellaneous things come through,
yeah.
and so you definitely have to kind of stay on top of it. And then once you start like scaling into a much bigger, bigger business, then those become a little bit more important. Like when you're first starting out, you kind of just overlook it because you're just dealing with like a couple $1,000s worth of like sales or whatnot. But once you start hitting that $1 million mark, those little quarters add up a lot throughout the year. So definitely something to learn.
Yeah, taxes and details. That's my least favorite thing to talk about. So, let's talk about the opportunity. Let me
Let's
show you
do it.
this cell. One of my group chats that I'm in. Let me brag on one of them. All right, so $12 item. It's a $12 item, and she just sent in my group, at our Bolo group. We started this thing where we do all anybody who wants to is in a group chat up to 10 people. And
Mhm.
so it's kind of like a smaller room. And if there's anything that is shared in there, I don't share it to the rest. Like it's kind of, smaller,
Just
like,
stays in there private.
yeah. So people share a little bit more, which is, what I was hoping. Well, anyway, so she shares the item. She says it's $12 item. And she sold it for $29.95. And
Mhm.
then the person paid overnight shipping, or let's see, what is it?
Those are the
Uh,
best.
yeah, the total of the order is $92.98, and it's within the time frame to be shipped priority. So, so, so
So
she's making fifty
pocket all
dollars,
that shipping.
like crazy.
Oh, that's
Uh,
that's the best.
yeah, that
Those
doesn't
are the
happen
best.
outside of Q4 normally, but that's the opportunity, man. People don't want to drive to 12 Walgreens to find, whatever. Like
Mhm.
that, they don't want to look for the sales. They want to click on third party. I want it at my house right now as fast as
Yep.
possible. And a lot of like that item is a rich
Mhm.
dummy item. There's no way there's no way that a normal person is paying that much money. Like, or
No,
maybe it's a kid with like a parent's credit card or something. I don't know, but that's crazy.
but like it's so like all right, I come from like a sales background, right? And so you can't you never want to make decisions based off your own opinion because you're not the person buying it, you know?
100%.
Like my mom does Instacart, right? She does it like as a side hustle, side hobby or whatever, just to kind of keep herself busy. She's older, so she says that's her workout for the day.
Oh, nice.
But so she had this crazy order where they were literally she was picking up like coffee cups, not coffee cups, the K cups or
Yeah.
whatever. And it was just like two of them. So it was like two packs of 12, so like 24. So it's nothing like major. It wasn't a big order.
Yeah.
So she went to do it and she said like it was like crazy. It was just that and they were paying like $50 because a lot of it was the tip. And she like
Uh-huh.
instantly hopped on it and then she gets to go to deliver it. And I live in DC and one of like the wealthy neighborhoods is Great Falls.
Mhm.
She was dropping it there and it was like a whole like gated house. You have to like it's like a out of like the movie, you have to like press a button, the intercom turns on, they open it up for you. She comes out there and drops it off. And then they added on top of that $50 tip, they added another $20 tip
That's
just
rich
for dropping
dummy.
it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't buy things based off your own opinion and your own eyes. You gotta if it's moving, it's moving.
Yeah. That's a crazy story. I've told my story. We were selling some little Debbie cakes a while back,
Yeah.
and we were selling them a 2 pack of like 2 boxes. I think we were selling them for like $29.99, and then I had gotten an order like the one I just shared where they did expedited shipping, and so I'm like, these are $4 at Walmart, like they're like $2.46 a box. They're $5, like
Yeah.
10, you're paying 10x to get it like delivered to your door. That was during stimulus money time too. So
Yeah.
that
People
you don't have,
we're kind of just throwing money.
yeah, it might have been a poor dummy instead of a rich
Yeah,
dummy, but
yeah. There's definitely those out there for sure.
yeah. Okay, so tell me about you, man. I mean, we've been friends on Instagram, and I thought you were, for some reason I thought you were in Washington or like Montana. I thought you told me that, and then you told me you were like right up, like you're a couple hours from me. So like, what's your story, man? How'd you get into reselling? How'd you get into like you got your podcast? Shout out the Doughboys Media
Shout out to
podcast.
Go Boys.
Yeah, we should have opened with a pop tab,
Prob-
like that.
got you, got you.
There you go, awesome. Yeah, product placement already.
There you
Um,
go. They should sponsor us.
yeah,
But no, I mean, so I guess the way I found out about reselling was literally just about TikTok. There, I forget what his name is, but he's like just like called Flip It, Sell It, something like that on TikTok. And me and my wife had just moved into our house like when at the beginning of the pandemic. Literally, I think the US shut down like on the 20th of March or something like that. And
okay,
we moved in like the 15th of March.
wow.
And so, you know, luckily we didn't get like furloughed or anything like that. So we still kept our jobs. They just moved us remote.
Mhm,
But you know, we were just bored on TikTok, and then she like ran into this random TikTok, and then she's the type of person that like she wants things to be like dumbed down for her to like get a great like concept of it. So
sure.
she like passed it to me and she says, "You learn this and teach it to me, and then we'll do it." And I was like, "All right." And then I just started doing it, and the next thing you know, here I am 3 years later, like making more money flipping than I am doing at my 9 to 5 job. So I
Yeah,
mean, it's been fun. It's definitely helped out our family a lot, and it's
great.
giving us a bunch of different resources to just help out different like family members in need and just friends and visit different places. So that's how really I started, just kind of out of the TikTok algorithm. So
Yeah,
shout out
sure,
TikTok.
yeah, that's awesome. Your tagline is Amazon paid for it, that's you, right? Like, that's your
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I mean, and I think for me, it holds true just because when we started, we weren't in really a position that we were like needing more money, you
sure,
know. But obviously, more money is nice, and then having the opportunity to help, be able to be in a position to help out if anyone ever needs it, is something we've always wanted to do, and that was always something we always tried for within our careers, right?
yeah,
Um, and then so what it's really allowed us to do, and, it's a good thing and a bad thing because they always say to do your best to not pull from the business and continue growing it. But it's definitely allowed us to have these crazy vacations these past 3 years and
yeah,
continue
establishing
growing the
scale,
Amazon business. And so it's been great. And I think for me, because I'm not really much of a material guy, like I'm good with this Under Armour shirt because it's a return from a customer, so
I
that's
was
all.
gonna ask, I feel like that's something I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah, and so like I'm not necessarily materialistic in that sense, but we definitely like our vacations and definitely like to create different moments and memories with our family for sure.
Yeah, I hear that, yeah. So is your wife helping with the business at all now, or is it kinda
I wish, I wish.
Yeah,
No, I mean she helps out in her own way, right? Like she takes care of our daughter. If I need to be in the garage, sometimes she wants to come down, but the age that she's in, she just kind of wants to play and grab her scooter, and so she'll distract her and
yeah,
stuff like that. And definitely she frees up time so that I can go source or spend time on the computer and source and stuff like that. So yeah, she helps out in her own way, but no,
yeah,
she's not picking up 45-pound boxes and loading it to the truck. So
sure, yeah. I've said it before. I think it's a huge benefit. Like you have a like a leg up on the competition if
Mhm.
you're a husband wife team tackling this versus
Yeah,
like especially like a single parent. But like even some of these younger guys that are doing their thing like having like a spouse that's on board with the like the demand and the vision of what you're wanting to build like it's a huge like there's no way like I work a lot of hours
mhm.
but like my wife is constantly playing defense and like meal
Yeah,
prepping and taking care of the kids and taking care of like paying bills and who's mad at us for this like who needs to be paid and who needs like she handles that. I mean she and now she's doing our bookkeeping too and so
it's awesome.
if you have like building that team over time is exciting. So
Yeah, 100%. And I think that the biggest part, if you are in that situation where you have a partner, and you're kind of tag teaming this, uh, I think in the beginning, it's all fun and games, right? You're making sales, you're making a little extra money, you're
yeah,
you're able to go to that extra fancy restaurant and just have dinner or whatever. But at
hmm,
some point, if it is something that you want to continue to scale, I think what really helped us is we sat down and talked about it. Like, okay, like this we've been doing this for 6 months. It's been fun, it's all
yeah,
good. but what is our actual intent for it, right? And so we sat down, and then, so yeah, I mean, it definitely becomes difficult because it is time consuming. Like
Oh yeah.
Amazon, as you mentioned, is such a great opportunity for people who want to build a business to kind of learn and have the free reign to do so without it being too hard. I mean, it's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard work, right? You have to put, sweat equity into it. But it's not anything compared to like starting a restaurant from scratch, you know? Um, so we definitely sat down, kind of communicated what our goals was, and had that, clear communication to be on the same page. And I think that's, if you have a
Yeah.
partner and you're not, solo, and you have a family, especially, you have to set those guidelines and communicate
Expectation.
with each other. Yeah, because at the same time, you also don't want to. We get into trying to become a business because we want to spend more time with our families. We want to have these memories. We want to, as you mentioned in our podcast, you want to be able to go to the basketball games. You want to go to the baseball
Right.
games, right? So it's all about kind of balancing everything out and setting time restrictions and kind of freeing up times when you don't really need to be there. Like I don't need to brush my daughter's teeth every night. Like she can, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I can go to the garage for 30 minutes to prep a shipment while she
Yeah.
get her ready for bed. Stuff
Yeah.
like
Sure.
so.
Where do you want to travel to? What's your dream next vacation or next set couple vacations?
Well, so we have 2 vacations already. I guess I have 3 trips already set up. So the next place I'm going
Amazon paid for
is
it.
Amazon paid for it. And you know what? I think I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna put the dreams paid for it.
Okay.
That's gonna be the new
I
thing.
see
The
you.
dreams paid for it. Because
I
it's
see
all
you.
a dream. It all starts with a dream. But yeah, so the next trip is Illinois. Shout out to Logan. He's invited me to come down and speak to some of his local business, small business owners. So we're
Okay.
going to talk to them about Amazon, different opportunities, and kind of do a whole tour down there. And then after that, we are going back to Disney. For any of you guys on the live who follow me,
Yeah.
I'm at Disney at least 3 or 4 times a year. So in May we'll be back there, and then in June we are planning to be in Cancun. So that's where the summer
Cancun.
trip is going to be.
I love it, man. That's awesome.
When are you going to come out to Disney with us, man? You're like a 5-6 hour drive from there.
Not bad at all. Yeah, we're not too bad. Honestly, I know you're gonna hate me, but I didn't love Disney. I didn't. I didn't get it. I didn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a Disney person.
What did you not like about it?
It's not that I didn't like anything. I just didn't love anything. Like
Yeah,
the food was amazing, but I
expensive.
mean, we paid like $600 for one meal, and we did the whole Beauty and the Beast. I
Yeah, I
mean,
loved it.
it was so good. But I mean, for that kind of money, I'll just go to a really good restaurant, and
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I mean, besides the cost, I'm super cheap. Like I talk about it, like we're pretty frugal. But I mean, we have 5 children, like
yeah.
5 humans that come with us everywhere. So, but I
Got
mean,
6 on the way.
we also, yeah, exactly. We'll have 6 soon. But um, I I just didn't feel the spark with Disney. I didn't love it. So
It's
we
okay.
we
Next,
went we went during the COVID times, so we had to wear a mask the whole time. So
yeah.
that sucked. But
So don't worry. Next time we'll do an adult trip. It'll be just you, your wife, me, my wife. We'll go to Epcot and we'll drink around the world.
that sounds fun. I'd be
Yeah,
into that. Yeah.
yeah. It'll be the most expensive hangover you'll ever have.
Oh, that's funny. So okay, my wife and I, we had a similar sit down. We probably have like a real heart to heart, like every couple months or something, because
Yeah.
it's kind of getting back on the same page and staying, making sure expectations are the same. We want to travel once a month.
Hmm.
That's a goal that we want to get to, and so there's so many like RA bolos like all the time. Like there's always something. So like we want to like just have it known once a month we're gonna go on like a trip for 3 or 4 days or maybe even a week, and go to places that we want to see, and then make content about it, and then source for the store. And so when I see you doing these trips and like seeing the nice restaurants and the different places, and like
Yeah.
my friend Carter Maxwell's in the Philippines.
Means yeah, I saw that
Flew to the Philippines to like meet
on a
his
whim.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the difference is that I think I have a much smaller family than
Yeah,
you, so it's a lot less mouths to feed. Like we went
that's
to the
true.
same Beauty and the Beast Disney restaurant, and it was for us. It was great. We loved it, and it wasn't. It was like 150 between the three of us because it's just me and my
Really?
wife. It's just me, my wife, and my daughter that we
Yeah.
have to worry about. So we have a much smaller army to feed.
Yeah.
But
Another thing, when we go out, like when we choose not to be cheap, we go out. Like we but like I had a
enjoy it.
beer, I had a couple beers, I think, and then we had like we
Yeah.
bought everything. So like it's kind of like we know when when we're being frugal, we know why. It's because we want to use
Enjoy
that
these off chance.
yeah,
Yep, 100%, 100% agree with you. And funny, okay, so just if there's any Disney fans or if you ever go back to Disney, you know how you can get the Target debit card and it
mhm,
gives you 5% off?
yeah,
You can use that Target debit card to buy Disney gift cards and you get 5% off. So for every
really.
$500, you get 5% off. So that's what you get. You save $50 off a $500 gift card.
And then you use that gift card to buy the tickets.
To buy tickets, to buy food at Disney, anything at Disney,
Really?
you can use a gift card. Do you know Disney Springs? And even though like it has like an Under Armour store, it has like a
Uh-huh,
Zara, it has a Sephora or whatever,
uh-huh.
because it's on Disney property, anything at Disney Springs, restaurant, store, you can use a Disney gift card.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
I'll just share that my one of my buddies lives close, and he goes like all the time. Like he's there
Yeah.
like all the time. He sources there too. So I have to tell him to Cisco
He's
sent
got
him the tip to get 5%.
for sure. And if you can tell him to get the Disney credit card. You're not supposed to use it to like for business, but you get
Uh-huh.
10% off Disney merch.
Huh. That's awesome. So
Yeah, man.
yeah,
But
travel's on the like on the horizon for us. We want to travel more.
Cody, here's an idea for you, man. What I can really see you doing is I could see you selling your house, buying a huge RV with all your
That
kids, and just traveling the country, man. I could
would
totally see you going cross country, hitting up Walmarts with all your kids, like just all
yeah.
of you, a whole gang, just like raiding a Walmart, going through in there, going
That
to
would
like a
be
super
content.
rural part of the country where there's only like two people inside of a Walmart on a Saturday, and it's just you and your family all up in there.
Yeah. Hey, we've talked about that. We've talked about getting like an RV or getting like a motorhome and using it to track. Because I mean, the next kid, we don't fit in most cars now, but the
Yeah,
next kid, we have a Yukon XL and
Jesus,
we have a minivan, and the
you
minivan
need to
doesn't hold us all, and so anywhere we go all together, we have to go in the Yukon XL. Well, now with this new baby, it's going to be every seat filled. It's three seats, and then two seats in the front. And yes, we're full. So something's going to have to give. We're probably buying a bigger car at some point, but
you gotta convert that center console into a seat. That's what you gotta do.
yeah, yeah, that's funny. Okay, so Amazon, what's your model? I guess we should probably talk about your business since it's a business show.
Sure.
What are you doing? What's your bread and butter? Like obviously don't give anything away, but what's your business plan look like?
Man, if I had an ASIN next to me, I'd definitely share it. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'll start from the beginning. Like when I first started, one of the first people I learned a lot from was Nikki. She does like the RV stuff, and she travels the country, and she goes into WalMarts and stuff. That's how she like pays for her lifestyle.
Hmm.
And so I would just do bolos. I would literally just go
Sure.
Walmart, Brickseek, do the bolos. I remember what got me hooked was these title golf balls. And if you're a golfer, those golf balls could go for like 40, $50 or whatever.
Hmm.
Walmart randomly clearanced a whole bunch of title golf balls for like $5.
Nice.
And they were all like sub 10K rank.
Yeah.
And so I just like went to all the Walmarts in my area, and I'm in a very densely populated area where I literally have about 20, 25 Walmarts within 20 minutes driving distance from every single Walmart that's in my area. Right?
Nice.
Think of Atlanta. Like if you're in the middle of Atlanta, like there's a bunch of Walmarts around you. You can just
Yeah.
go into them. So that was like my first ever like rush of a bolo. And then so I picked up a bunch. I spent like, I don't know, like $500-$600, and then like flipped them all and made like, my payout ended up being like 4 grand. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
This is wild. And then so that was like that's what really like got me hooked, right? That was my proof of concept. And then like I got lucky. I honestly got lucky. I got Logan who forced me to join Reezy's group, and then as soon as I joined, my whole thing was try to get ungated and Nike, and then I did that, and the next thing you know, like chlorine's going popping off like crazy, and then chlorine pools, and then after that died out, like I was kind of like, oh crap, what am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
So then I rededicated myself to just learning to source. I spent like a week going through YouTube videos, just like learning how to source, learning how to read keep. I mean, I knew how to read Keepa, but like learning how to read it efficiently, right? How to like look at it and just see the signals, and pick out different items. And then so that's what's really helped me. That death of chlorine in pools is what really motivated me and pushed me to learn how to source for OA a lot better.
Yeah. Get
So
those all.
then, yeah, because I couldn't rely, and there is occasionally that those hide items. Like last year, they had the magic mixies, right? You didn't really have to think of anything; you just
Right.
went to go get the magic mixies.
Yeah.
So they come up from time to time, but they're not always there.
Yeah.
So for me, I just I wanted to have a steady stream of extra income coming in.
Yeah.
So focused on sourcing, and so now my business went from being like 100% RA, mostly bolos, to flipping. And right now I would say I'm about like 75-80% OA. And
Yeah.
then like the rest of it is RA. There's no wholesale there. But what I will say is a lot of my OAs, like I said, I'm in a heavily dense, area.
Mhm.
So a lot of my stores have my OA products in stores. So if I
Yeah.
have free time, I'll just go pick it up. Like I have a shopping center 5 minutes from me that has an Ulta, a Dick's Sporting Goods, and Walmart, a CVS, and a
Nice.
Walgreens.
Yeah.
Like I can literally just go on my lunch break and just pick whatever I need to go pick up.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, so that's where I am now. I've had a VA now for about 6 months or so.
Wow, I didn't realize you had a VA. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, and actually, shout out to Logan. He's the one who, like, just like I used to harp on you about reading Profit First. He kept
So good.
harping on me to get a VA, get a VA. I was like, bro, I'll just sign up for your leads list and just call it a day. And
Yeah,
he's like, no, will you pay for my leads list? You can just pay a VA and make your own leads list. I was like, oh, I guess
that's
you have a point.
absolutely true. Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, thanks to Logan is the main reason why I have a VA now. And she's great. She's awesome. Like the time that you put in with your VA is the results you'll get back. So if you don't spend any time with your VA, if you don't give them feedback or adequate training, then that's what you'll kind of get back in return. The effort you put in is the effort you'll get.
Yeah. Is your VA doing anything for other people or it's just for your operation?
It is just for me.
Just for you. Okay. That's awesome,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I I wish I ran my Bolo group at our Bolo group for
Yeah.
2 years or something, like without any any VA or any like
Yeah.
nothing.
By yourself.
Sweating, like just like I've got to come up with something. These people are paying me money. I've got to come up with something really good for them today. And
Yeah.
now we've got things kind of put in place. But we have a VA team, and then we have like 4 providers that are just generating leads all day. They just have their channel, and those guys, the way those guys make money is they post really good leads, and you click their affiliate link
And they
right
get
there,
commission.
they make a 2% or 1% commission off of it. So like, you get hooked up with those guys. That's a great, that's a great
Yeah.
partnership. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
And
I
just to
would,
shout you out and your Discord and your Bolo group that you were in, I was in it for a little bit sometime last year, and some of the things you'd find, man, it was wild. Like you'd find like the randomest thing sitting on a Walmart shelf with like 3 sellers on it, and I'm like, what?
yeah,
How like is no one else on this? And then it's wild.
yeah, I
It's
appreciate
wild.
that, man. We almost closed the whole thing down, not because of not any real reason except just the time commitment. Because it like anybody can just start up a leads list or like a Discord or whatever. But like if I'm gonna do something, I want to do it really well. And so
Yeah.
we were just gonna be like, we actually had somebody we were gonna sell it to, and just tell the members if you want to keep going, you can. If not, whatever, and give the other person a shot. And then we decided to keep it. We decided to keep rolling with it, and I don't make a ton of money off of it. Like
Mhm.
I kind of wish I did, but like there. Let me say this: there are sellers that are crazy good that have 37 followers on Instagram and
Mhm.
don't give a crap about building a personal brand.
Yep.
And if you can get in a small room with those type of people, that'll transform your business. Like
Yeah.
those caliber of people is why that's like half the reason we decided to keep going without our Bolo group, because like we just meet really cool people. Like what's up, Lutz? Cody's the
Cody the
goat.
goat.
I don't know about that. No. Give me 10 years and I might be the goat. But yeah.
Maybe.
But anyways, yeah. So that's my. I don't remember where I was going. But I will say this. Going back to the traveling thing.
Yeah.
I want to travel. Like I want to like
Do it.
we moved when we bought our house. We were like in Atlanta. We were like pretty close to like Metro Atlanta. Like what you said, we had 15 Walmarts that I could just drive to anytime. Now it's like we're in rural Georgia. So like if I want to go to a Walmart, like I have one, that's pretty close, and then the next one's 20 minutes, and then the next one's an hour. And so getting to where I can go out and like really do RA is tough. So we want to travel where we're going and get out there, hit we want to hit a trip to Washington D.C. I've never seen Washington D.C. That's one of our one of my places. I want to go to the Grand Canyon. I want to see Niagara Falls. I want to go to Denver. And so travel's big for us. I feel like I'm stuck like there's like three good restaurants, and like we don't even have a Starbucks or anything. Like we're just out. So anytime I get an excuse to travel into Atlanta, I'm super excited. So
You guys don't have a Starbucks? What is this?
we don't have a Starbucks. We don't have a Dunkin'. We did get a Chick-fil-A recently, which is
Oh, we like it. They're closed on Sundays.
yeah, that's true. We used to my family used to eat. We get the 30-piece nugget, and then
Mhm.
like we've got our whole thing down.
The
We
the
moved out
catering
here.
session.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is.
That's so funny. Yeah, I mean, if you ever come to DC, hit me up. I'm literally like 15 minutes outside of DC.
Really?
So
Okay.
I'll definitely show you around for sure.
So you've seen the White
DC's
House. You've seen. I mean, you've
I've seen the
been.
White House. I've been
That's
there for Easter.
really.
Yeah, they do like an Easter event every year. I've been there twice for Easter. I once when I was like a kid, like in elementary school, and then once in high school for like a high school field trip. But yeah, I've been there for that. I haven't seen any of like the new museums, so I'm not really hip to those stuff. You might not be interested, but I'm definitely hip in with the nightlife in DC. It's super crazy out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, DC is a fun time for sure, and a lot of things outside of DC. It's actually this area in general is very much so a wine area. So there's a bunch of like wineries, mostly wineries, but there are a couple breweries out here as well. It's super beautiful landscaping, and you got like
Nice.
the Shenandoah Mountains down the street, like an hour drive away. So it's all kind of a nice little close drive from everyone, for
Sounds like a
sure.
cool place to live. It's on our list. I
You need to, man.
we homeschool, so we want to do field trips. So like literally go out and see the Washington Monument and
Mhm.
the whole bit. Like it sounds cool. Like we don't have that kind of stuff. Like
No, yeah,
you
you
have a
have to go to the reflection pool.
yeah.
Go to the Lincoln Memorial. There's definitely a bunch of stuff, and obviously, like you can even go to the Manassas battlefield where they had the Civil War, and there's a
Yep.
bunch of cool stuff out here. So definitely come through. And in our podcast, you were talking about how you were kind of switching things over to being more of like a cash business
Mhm.
and not using too many credit cards, man. But one thing I would definitely say is yeah, definitely do that, but once you've kinda get your cash flow back in check, definitely, like, use credit cards like a debit card. At least that's what we do, right? So we, like at literally there'll probably be maybe 48 to 72 hours where our credit card will actually have a balance.
Mhm.
Other than that, it's immediately paid off. If we don't have the funds to pay it off in our checking account, then we don't bother,
Yeah.
just to kind of keep it
That's
all
totally.
kosher.
But
The
then you
only
still
time Yeah,
One.
just Q4. Q4 is the exception.
Sure.
Those 3 months. Those are the exception, but it has to be like fire. Has to be Stanley Cups. You know, has to be Stanley
Yeah,
Cups.
yeah. Yeah, big money. The good variations.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I'm terrified of debt, man.
Oh, it's scary for sure.
You pay 1 month of interest on some credit card bill, like, that you built up because the opportunity was so good, and then all of a sudden, it's not good anymore. It's really bad and
Yeah.
scary, and so,
Mhm.
yeah, we'll use credit, but, I wanna be like cash. I wanna like l the exactly what you said, like, I
Yeah.
like lower risk. I know that makes me sound like a pansy, but,
No, not at all, man. I mean, like some of the biggest businesses like run that way, like are cash rich, right? Like a bunch of banking institutions are cash rich. So
yeah,
I mean, like it's not a pansy way to think about it, bro. You got it. You got to run the business for your family, not for social media.
exactly.
No.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, like, you're on the same social media as I am, like,
Yeah.
there's a big push for people to, just put it on a credit card, like, you got 30 days, and, that's, that's scary advice, man. I can't I can't say it enough. Like I've said it a couple times on like reels and like putting out like stories and whatnot. But
Mhm.
like be scared of debt. You should be scared of debt.
Yeah.
you know. eh,
It's
oh, by the way, nobody ever makes a story or a reel about how they you know had to pay interest on a credit card or how they like I had a consulting call with a person and very nice person and they were just like I'm just so in over my head. Nothing that I bought is selling the way I thought it was going to, and I'm paying interest on, this big scary number every month. And I was like, holy crap, that's terrifying. Like return all of that, go work overtime at your job, get that gone. Like that's
drive Instacart, drive Uber, get that extra cash on your free time, like
yeah,
roll it in. Like there's creative solutions versus just throwing money at the issue that you can
will
definitely do.
blow up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally stacking risk on top of risk, and you're stacking the risk of you know picking inventory for your business on top of, or I guess you're the other way, you're stacking credit card debt on top of picking inventory for your business, and then like there's just so much risk. Yeah, so yeah, I can't
Yeah,
say.
no. And to like, and I don't want to scare anybody off, but Amazon can hop on a listing at any time. Like during Q4, at any point, Amazon could have been on any of those Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
And I'm on a listing now that the listing's about like 1,000 days old, so it's been on there for a long time. And at no point has Amazon ever been on it.
Hmm.
And then randomly this morning, Amazon comes in with just a random like 5 units, and then they sell out almost instantly. But like, it was the randomest thing. It's like they're doing test buys to see if we
Right.
should
Yeah.
hop
Yeah. That's
onto
what
it,
I was
like,
gonna
and
say.
so that's just like, "Oh, crap, maybe I should, like, slow down on this." So, I
Yeah.
mean, like, it's Amazon can hop on at any time, doesn't matter how old the listing is, doesn't matter how great the listing is. They can hop on, they can price tank it for themselves, they can give you a price warning, or even the brand. So, I mean, definitely I like to play the wide game, but, I mean, teach their own.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I tell people play the wide game, like you said. Go wide,
Mhm.
not deep, until your gut and the data and everything lines up, and then you go deep. And
Yep.
there's this one thing I'm on. It's a baby food product, and I can get it for $4, and with receipts and everything. Like it's not like a black hat type of thing. Like I can get it for $4, and I could probably go buy 2,000 of them today. And
Black hat?
huh?
Man, what you trying to say, black hat?
Yeah.
Dang, man. Alright, alright.
Is that Adidas? Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought it was like a women's hat. I thought you were like peacocking or something.
Oh, man, that's messed up.
Anyways, it's $4 and it's selling for 32 or it's 32 or 34 or something like that. Like that's crazy. There's no reason it should be selling for that much. At any point, if I go too deep too fast, somebody could jump on, undercut it, or Amazon could give me the high pricing error, which they should. They totally should. I shouldn't be able to sell it for
Absolutely not. No,
It's
but
not
it's
baby
crazy.
formula, by the way. Don't come after me. It's it's not that.
But it's crazy. Like there's some things that are just like that. Like I remember being on like some random like cosmetic lotion last year that I was picking up at Walgreens that they were all like like most places they were there. I guess there was no, it was discontinued, but the
Yeah,
expiration date was still like a year out, and it's crazy because it was originally selling for like $10, but if you could find it, like
right.
you're selling it for like 60, $70, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
And like
Bolo.
I low key lied to my wife. I said I was going to because in Virginia you can't buy like big fireworks, right?
Mhm.
So I told her I was like, "Hey, hun, I'm gonna drive out to Pennsylvania to get these crazy fireworks so we can have a great Fourth of July." Nope. I mean, yeah, I went to go buy fireworks, but I mapped out different Walgreens to hit along the way, and then a different route coming back down to stop by at every single one to pick up as many as I could. Paid for the fireworks, paid for the Fourth of July food. Like it was great. It was great.
Very
Like,
nice. Yeah,
sometimes you just find those things, you know?
I love those things. There's a YouTube. I'll have to put her. I'll have to shout her out. Cosmic Heather or Cosmic Deals or something like that. I'll try to find her handle and put it in. But like, she goes through and does the Richie Hustles thing. Like Richie
Mhm.
Hustles shares whatever he finds in Target or wherever he's at. She goes through, but she does discontinued, and she just literally just hits like um, Walgreens and then other type like small stores with pharmacy and stuff like that. And she's making a freaking killing. Like she's like killing it, and she shows where she sold it, shows how much. Like I guess she edits it
Yeah.
months after, and
Yeah.
like I mean, she shows everything. And I'm like, one, that's crazy. Like I wouldn't do that because I, like I don't know. I think you know my story about my first storefront and all that. But that was whole crazy thing. But two, like, I didn't realize the opportunity had discontinued. Like, she goes through and she's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, this looks old. It looks like I've never seen this brand or like this is whatever." And so she scans it, and then she buys it for like 7 and sells it for like 45 or something.
Yep.
And so I don't
They
do
say
any
the
discontinued, but it's cool to watch.
the dustier the better. That's what they say.
Yeah. Shout out to Thrift to Travel. Dusty Shelves, isn't that her whole thing? Or
I think so.
Dusty.
Yeah, 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 that's what it was. That's where I got it from.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Um, I did a Gentile. Were you on Gentile when it was?
Popping
Yeah, we sold a butt ton of Gentile. They
the
had a
wipes too.
do what?
There's like some like I don't know random wipes too. There was like the yellow package with like blue writing or something. You know, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. They're like medical wipes or whatever
Uh huh.
to wipe your rear end.
Oh.
Uh, yeah,
Oh yeah.
you know
I
what I'm
did
talking
sell
about.
those. Yeah. From
They
Target.
were well, you can find them Target, Walmart. I couldn't get them on Walmart online, but I can find out they were always in stock in store. So
Yeah.
I would just always go into the store and pick them up.
What was it called?
But
Preparation H.
yeah, that's what it was. It was crazy. And then like even when it started to tank, like at 20 ROI or whatever, like it kind of didn't matter. You just put them in, get your
They sell so
20%, and
fast.
it just they were gone.
Yeah.
Checked in, gone.
There's another one that was out that's like that. Like it tanked, but it still sells so fast. You probably know what it is. I don't want to say it in case somebody's on it, but
I mean,
um.
I'll say another one. I don't mind. Yeah. I showed it to you.
Oh, is
You,
that? Did you? Okay.
yeah. I showed it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
showed it to you. Yeah. And like, I mean, I'll be honest. I'm still on some of those listings now. Like,
Okay. Don't
they're
say it.
still
No.
they sell year round, and there are different bundles, singles, doubles. There's a listing for like 10. You can sell 10 a bundle of 10, and they move.
Yeah.
Like they move.
Huh.
So
I'll have to revisit that.
yeah. Do
I was
it. Do
also
it.
yeah. The Gentile, there was a shortage because there was the packaging, like the stuff, the like the metal that it was in, that
Mm,
factory went out or something. I don't know. And so the price of those immediately jumped as soon as they went out of stock online. Third party, it went from like $20 third party
yeah,
sellers to like 60, and so you were selling them for like crazy money. And
that's
that's a bolo. That's that's when.
crazy story. So, okay, I don't know if at least I've never heard this story like publicly on like an Amazon chat or anything. But all right, so when the whole chlorine thing happened, right? Everyone caught wind of it, kind of like mid May
That
ish,
was
right?
crazy.
And
Yeah,
then by July, everyone knew about it.
yeah.
So I don't know if do you know Amazon Kingpin,
Yeah.
Jacob.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
he
paid
was
him for some
in.
consulting. I love that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. He was in a group. He was in Reese's group, right? And then he posted the news article, like I don't know, in April, I think, or like end of March,
Yeah.
about the factory. He's like, "I'm already buying these now. I'm stocking up. Like, you guys should hop on this."
Yeah.
And then that's when I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I kept an eye on it, and then all of a sudden, like mid-April, like they're just like exploding.
That was insane.
And then from what I know, at least, Rizzy's group was the first group to like really know about it. And even I forget his name. He like made like $1 million off of chlorine. That's where he learned it
Jake
from.
Carter?
Was Yeah, Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he that's where he was in that group too. Nice DMs, bro.
Nice. Oh, check it out. My light went off back here. Yeah. I'm looking back through my DMs to see the day that I started with those, I shared it to somebody. I shared it to the owner of Heat Seekers, who's a friend of mine, and I'm looking back to see what the date is, see if it was around there or not. But dude, I've never worked harder than I did from the time that I realized how big of a deal that was to the end of the summer, whenever it's like, because like I was doing the 5 pounders. So
Yeah,
you want to
me
work
too.
where you, yeah, yeah. I have pictures of my entire, you remember my van, like the big A van that I had,
Yeah,
the Nissan. I have pictures of 5 pound chlorine. All like I went to every single store with it. Like I drove like there's no telling how many miles. Like every single Lowe's, every single Sam's Club. Let's see, what are the other ones?
so
Costco,
Ace Hardware.
yeah, Ace Hardware. Oh, we have Leslie's too,
Yeah,
and
yeah, we did too. We did too. The
yeah,
25 until they shut us down.
uh-huh.
Until they got
That's
on it.
war stories, man. I probably legitimately worked 20-hour days.
Yeah,
Like
it
we
was
just
wild.
I remember working all day, like early in the morning, waking up and then working all day, getting home at like 11, 12 o'clock at night, and then working into the morning while watching TV, while packing the orders that sold on the way home so that I could go back out early again in the morning. So yeah.
And did you
Bolo.
and did you know? Okay, a lot of people didn't know this. So they were spending like ridiculous amounts of money on boxes to ship everything, right? But
Uh-huh.
did you know those boxes that they already come in the container, they're meant for shipping? So you could just pop the shipping label on it and then just print out the hazard tag and slap it onto the side. UPS
Really?
picked it up. Yep. I never put any of them in boxes. I
Wow.
just slapped it right on top, left it on my driveway. UPS came and picked it up. Not once did they ever say anything. They said
You,
something once when I did like the 25 pound and I dropped that off in store, and
mhm.
then I just sat there while they like looked at their policy, and I was like,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, we did a bunch of the 40 pounders and we didn't
Yeah.
pack it. The first ones we did, and then one time I was like, what if we just slap label it and see
Mhm.
what they do? And so we did it, and then the guy was like, yeah, we do this all the time, no problem. And he just picked it up by the handle. And so
Yeah, that's
I have
easier.
yeah, yeah, I have pictures of like my garage, and then it's literally like 40 deep of just 5 gallon buckets of chlorine
Let me see if
going
I can find a picture.
yeah.
Yeah, bro, it was wild. It
Then that
was
one kid, Jake Carter,
yeah,
he's the one who like I was doing the 5 pounders, and then he was like, I was in a group chat, and he shared,
the Costco ones.
yeah, he shared what like how big of a scale he was doing it, and I was like,
Mhm.
holy crap, that's huge. And so I hired an Uber driver and 2 ladies from church, and
An
we were
Uber driver. Whoa, you're wild.
we did we are yeah we did. He was on my Instagram story like every day for a long time.
That's so
And,
funny.
yeah, just going store to store to store, and I paid him. I think I was paying him like $8 or $10 for every one they could get, and some of those guys were making like 300 or 400 bucks a day, and I was so happy to pay it. But UPS sent our own truck a couple times. They sent like a white
What?
Penske truck, and we filled it
Yeah.
from the front to the back, and yeah.
They did that for me twice because of pools, and they were not happy about it.
Yeah.
I had a literally. I'll find the picture. So like, I ran into a Walmart. It was like the 55-inch inflatable pools, I think it was, but it wasn't like the metal rod ones. It was literally the
Okay.
inflatable ones.
Yeah.
They were like 100 and like after tax, like yeah, it was like 125 ish or whatever. But they were selling on Amazon for like 250, like almost $300, and you're making like 40% ROI on them,
Yeah.
right? And my Walmart literally had like from wall to wall, like all the way down. I ended up buying, I think it was like 85 of those pools. And then I had to like it was right there on the spot. Like I didn't know what to do. I had the money for it. So I was like, you know what? Like scared money don't make money. So I just grabbed my credit card and just bought them all. And like, okay, what are you driving? Are you driving a U-Haul? And I was like, I have that CRV. And he just looked at me. He's like, uh, okay, are you gonna make 20 trips or something? And I was like, give me a second. And then I just went to Home Depot. I rented their like truck thing that they have at Home Depot and it's like $30 for an hour and a half, right? And then I was like, I'm not getting a U-Haul for $100. I got the Home Depot truck for an hour and a half, filled it up. The whole car ride home, it was beeping because the weight was at capacity. So the truck was just beeping at me the whole time. Dropped it off and then made it back in time to drop off the truck. And then listed them. Every single pool sold within 3 hours.
Jeez.
It was like a 17 grand day for me.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was a bad choice because my back was hurting the next day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It was
You
bad.
made the profit, but yeah, dude, that's a crazy story, man. I
I
didn't
got
get.
pictures too. Hold on, let me see if I can find some. Keep talking,
Yeah.
keep talking. I'm gonna just search through here.
Yeah. So we had a channel that was just for pools and chlorine and like because I mean there was a new like there's a new source every day popping up for, like people wanted pools bad and
Yep.
yeah another one hot tubs. I did so well with hot tubs from Walmart
Yeah.
and Amazon, and then we did a bunch for 2 years in a row, Walmart to local, and that was great. But there were people in my group that were U-Haul like um, store to store with a U-Haul until it was full. Then they would sell it on the way home. They would leave it, and then they take the U-Haul and go the rest of the day, the rest of the time out, and I mean, just killing it, like making $100, $200 a pool.
So it was $19. I'm wrong. It was $19 for 75 minutes. Sprinter van,
That's
right?
awesome.
And then hold on. Let's see. Here's the picture of it full, just
Jeez,
full of pools.
I remember that, Asen. Yeah,
And then out in the same Walmart. Hold on. I found some chlorine, so I just put it right there in the passenger seat.
nice.
Dude, it was definitely a wild day. And talking about hot tubs, the best chlorine that I sold that sold super
The one
quick
inch.
and had the little 1 inch tablets for
Yeah.
the jacuzzis,
Uh-huh.
those were the best.
Check this
Those were
out.
the
Hold
best by
on.
far.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you a crazy story. We still have this. Um, we don't have any on Amazon. I think they killed the listing for this one.
Yeah, I
But
think so a
do
couple
you,
times.
do you remember the box that they had
Open
in?
them, smell like it's separately.
My kid busted one in the car, and I mean we sold so many before I realized,
Yeah,
but like we were making like 10 or 12 bucks a box. But then it was this, and then it was the 1 inch chlorine, and then it was the little thing.
tester or whatever.
Uh-huh. You sold them separately. You were making like $40 a box, and nobody realized it. I guess maybe you did, but like
Yeah, I was on it.
and oh man, that was like that was easy. But like I I can when you showed me the picture of that chlorine in the what's up, DM Sorto?
So Danny,
When you showed me the picture of that the 5 pound in your car, my nostrils started hurting. Because I have
yeah,
PTSD from
yeah.
just
Fingers
sitting in
too,
the
man.
yeah. Oh yeah, and the fingers too, yeah. Oh man, that was crazy time. That we,
Those are
we
good.
need we need another plague, as Dwight says, so we can sell random crap like that.
And you know what? We haven't even touched on the craziness of Godzilla's.
Yeah.
Like, why was that even a thing? The movie sucked. The movie was terrible. Why was that a thing?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. When I talk about war story bolos, chlorine and pools, those
Top
are
to
hot.
mind.
Yeah, there's another brand that I'm sure you know about that's really hot right now. But like, no, I mean, there are opportunities where you can just drop everything, like you just change your whole business model, and then it's just I'm gonna get as many of this item for as long as I can, and I'm gonna hire as many people as I need to get as much as I can, and that's
Yeah,
exciting.
it. I definitely preached going wide earlier, but I can't even lie. Like, there's one item that I'm on right now that is just ridiculous,
Yeah.
and like it's super scary because I definitely want to continue going wide, just because like anything can happen. Like,
Mm.
like a random wholesaler can jump on it and sell it at at retail price. Amazon can hop on it. Like, anything can happen, and it just makes me super nervous. I'm not even gonna lie about that. Definitely
Break
makes
it
me
down.
nervous.
Tell me the numbers. What's the like what's it look like? Don't tell me what it is because
The
thousands
only
of
thing
people watch this show. That's a joke. They don't, but I mean,
they will one day.
absolutely.
No, yeah. So, and it's so funny. But yeah, no, about 200% ROI plus, depending on like where the price
Woo!
is.
Okay.
And it could drop a lot, and it would still be at 100% ROI.
Okay.
And if I could keep it in stock, it would probably I could probably live off of this for a long time.
Okay.
I would say it's just as beautiful, if not more, than chlorine was.
You just gotta find it. It's hard to get your hands on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I I tell people all the time. We have this thing in my group where if we see a bunch of something that's been talked about, we issue a flood warning. And so like
Yeah.
I'll literally take a picture and be like, "Hey guys, there's like 40 of these here. If you can get your hands on 40 of them in one store, there's no shortage. There's no
Yeah.
generally speaking, that's not that's the rule to live by. So I don't go 40 deep on anything. I can find like not like that. Even if it's good because what's invariably going to happen is there's 100 other resellers that are going to see the same opportunity. So like if it's something where you're getting 200% ROI on, you can't find it, you have to do something creative, or like you have to take 10 steps to get the item. Like that sounds like a good opportunity.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's definitely a hassle to get, for sure. There's a step to it that's definitely a hassle. But, talking about, there are opportunities that you can get 40 of, 50 of, and like just what we were just talking about, chlorine and pools. Like,
Sure.
there was like 158 people on one single listing at like one point in time,
Yeah.
and it didn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
wait 10-30 minutes, and then the buy box would rotate to you, and you would sell through like 100 units if you had it.
Yeah.
Like, it was
People don't
nuts.
realize the buy box when it rotates. Like if you're on a fast moving product,
Yeah.
if you've never
It
been on
rips.
yeah, if you've never been on a fast moving product, ASIN like that, and you're used to like just normal buy box rotation, you don't realize how much price doesn't matter. Like one of the things I'm selling right now, I've only sold four. I wish I had
Mhm.
sold like 400, but um, like it's an insta sell. Like if you find it, it's gonna sell in 10
It's
minutes.
fun.
Like
Yeah.
if you're anywhere close. So the price that I sold one at yesterday, and I sold it at I think 29.99 or 30, like it was the low 30s, and that was around the low price. And I noticed a close friend of mine, I know his storefront, he was on it, and he was like $20 over the low price. I was like, that's like let's
That's
see,
how it is.
let's see if
That's
there's
how it
something
is.
to this. So I priced it at I think 43.99 or forty four
Mhm.
ninety nine or something like that. Boom, they sold on the way home. Like they're I sold three today, and way over the low price. So like that buy box rotation, people are
Mhm.
just clicking and buying. They want it so bad they don't even care.
Clicking and buying, and not only that, the buy box is also based off region and how quick it's going to get to you, right?
Sure.
So if you're priced 20, like let's say you're priced $4 or $5 higher than the current buy box holder, but they're in California on the West Coast and you're on the East Coast, and the person buying it from you lives in Florida, you're
Hmm.
going to get the buy box at that $5 higher price.
Right.
And so like it's just, you don't, I mean, they share what the buy box rotation is, but at the same time, like, it's also not a set science. You know, it's based off of a bunch of different things. Your seller metrics, and I think most importantly is how quick Amazon can actually give it to the customer. And you know, I got to correct myself because it's not necessarily if the seller lives in California and you're on the East Coast. It's more so which warehouse your product is in, right? Because
Yeah,
because
if it's
it's about
FBA,
FC transfers. Yeah, like you could have something sent down to like the warehouse in North Carolina, but maybe you got FC transfer to Arizona or something, and then so you're closer now to that population. Just all depends.
yeah.
All depends.
Test it,
Test
especially
it.
if it's a fast moving, ACE, and like test it because like you'll see some keepers where it's like obvious the FBA is 10 or 15 or $20 higher, but like that happens all the time, and it's
Hmm.
not as obvious when you look at the Keepa, but like you can get sales like way higher than that low price.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I mean,
well,
I keep it as a rule of thumb. If it's in the three digits rank, then I always price it above the buy box, 100%. Always
yeah,
a couple dollars above the buy box, and see how far I can get. Like, see when it stops ripping,
right.
and then just keep it like at that one spot.
Yep. That's a good rule of thumb. I've never,
Hmm.
yeah, I like that. Well, man, it's been an hour. We got families to get back to. I like to ask every guest that comes on my show this question. So, one of my goals, my passion project, or whatever you want to call it, is I want to help poor people and people that are disadvantaged. Think like food stamp, single parent households that, or like recovering drug addicts, people that just got out of prison, like people that are really like hurting. I want to help those people get into entrepreneurship, and as what I know best is the flip game, reselling and whatnot. So maybe not specifically Amazon, but just this lane. What advice would you give somebody? They're coming from that background, maybe like a 20-year-old guy or something, and they're trying to get their life together. Other than get a job and get some cash coming in,
Hmm.
what's the next advice you would give that person?
It might be a little cliche, but it's really kind of like understand your why, right? Like sit down and do a lot of self-reflecting. I think the most important thing in entrepreneurship is really being able to kind of self-assess, see where you're at, where you like in, and see what is the purpose of you doing something, right? Like doing something because you want $1 million, it's only going to get you so far until you're like, okay, it's not worth all of this like headache,
We don't
right?
want it that bad. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But like if you have a higher purpose, and this is something that I feel like I can really relate to Gary V with, like his purpose is driven by the people around him, right? Like he wants to make his mom and dad proud. He wants to make his
Yeah.
wife proud. He wants to make his kids proud. And I'm
Yeah.
kind of the same way. Like if I was single, had no family, I'd honestly probably be a POS sitting in my bed just watching Netflix all day. I'll
Yeah.
be 100% honest. Like I could care less,
Yeah.
but like everything that I'm doing is a it actually really started with my mom. Like my mom's a single mother. She raised me. She like busted her behind working two full-time jobs to keep me in a county which is super ridiculously expensive, but it had the best public school system and there wasn't a lot of crime. So she worked her butt off to like keep me in this environment. And what I can do now as an adult is return that to her. Like I want to retire her. That's my why, right? I want to make sure my wife and my daughter have everything that they ever need and everything that my mom gave me. I want to be able to give my daughter plus the time and attention that I lacked in my childhood, right?
Sure.
So understand your why and use that as a catalyst to keep you going. Yes, there's going to be little things that kind of swerve you off your path, and but just kind of using the time to reflect and knowing yourself and kind of go back to what your why is and using that to kind of continue going forward. And like you have like they always say on the plane, right? Like take care of yourself first before you take care of other people.
Yeah.
It's okay for your why to be selfish, right? Like getting the approval of my family and like the people closest to me, like that's what I want, right? Like that's
Sure.
kind of selfish. Like I don't want my own approval, I want their approval, and I
Yeah.
want it
Yeah.
for the things that I do. So it doesn't matter if it's selfish or if it's doing it for God or doing it for church or to help poor people. It doesn't matter what it is, but have something to kind of keep you going and stay consistent, because that's the only time you're ever gonna really succeed is if you stay consistent and have a purpose to keep going.
Figure out the why, and yeah, I think that's great advice. I think that's people miss it. They're like, just do it, bro. Like just go get it. Yeah, it's like how do you
It's a
find the
mindset.
moment? Yeah,
It's definitely a mindset. And I think like that's a lot of people in our community like talk about like networking is the most important thing.
sure.
And yeah, it's helpful and it is good, but like you said, man, like there's a lot of people who are like top 10 Amazon sellers that have zero following on Instagram. And yes, they have a network, but it's not really a network. It's a village of like of small grouped people that they probably talk to and communicate with. It's not like 100 people that they kind of know on Instagram, you know?
Right. Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I try to help out as many people as I can who like launch into my DMs, but I have like maybe 3 groups of just small knit communities that to me is my village, right? Those are the people that I trust and that I talk to, and that I'm not scared to like share ASINs with, and not scared to like bounce off ideas.
sure.
But I'm also not talking. I also don't think the 1,000 people that follow me on Instagram are all my friends either.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
100%. Yeah, that's totally true. But that's a great answer, man. I love that. I'll have to clip that and put that into some short form
that works, man.
content. That's good stuff. Well,
You now have my soul.
thank you. I need to be in one of your. I want to be in your village. Put me in
Yeah,
your
yeah,
village, bro.
yeah.
Please.
You need to wear a Naruto band to be included. Okay,
Okay.
we're
Okay.
we're the dream village.
I love it, man. Cool. Well, hey, man, thank you so much for coming on. I know it's not a big audience or anything, so I know it's not doing anything to really boost your stuff yet, but
It's okay.
uh
You're all the audience I need.
oh, that's funny. Well, man, thanks again. Amazon paid for it. Everybody, on social, you're flipping with Cisco. That's
That's
you. And then
it.
I'll tag your YouTube below. You just put out a video about VAs, and then the one before that was one of the things I meant to talk to you about, the GPT.
ChatGPT.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, that's wild.
yeah. Google that
We'll,
if
we'll,
you don't
we'll
know what that is yet.
yeah, we'll definitely get more into it in the next one.
Yeah, love it, man. Hey, cool. Well, hey, have a good night, and we'll talk to you.
All right, bro. Take care. Have a good night.
All right, see ya. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming on and watching Codys Business Show episode number 8. We're almost in the double digits. If you need help finding profitable products, if you're just getting started selling on Amazon and you want to network, et cetera, I have a Bolo group. It's currently closed, but you can join the waiting list. And then I also have another group that's open. I'm a moderator in there, and you get a free month if you go through my link that is found below. So yeah, check that out, and go sell some crap on the internet, baby. If I can help you, let me know, and good night.